everyone, and welcome to another RMC Main Street construction update. My name is Jim from Wild Gravity Travels, and I'm bringing you the latest this week on the progress being made on the new project at the back of Cedar Point. I wanted to start off with the wanted poster story here. A couple new things developing so far that I've noticed having just got to the park. First of all, this covered bridge that had a wanted poster on it a couple weeks ago now no longer has a wanted poster at all. Meanwhile, over here next to the Jitney Arcade, we see two of the silhouette wanted posters. And those are just two of the same characters. We have three total characters right now. And they've been revealed to be, their names were revealed in a media press kit. We tweeted out a picture of that. I know that the leader's name seems to be Blackjack. He's the one with the $1,000 reward. And then we have, I believe it's Digger, who's the one with the axe. So we'll just be taking a look at that here coming up. Again, here's the lift, climbing ever steadily. It's now over top of the saloon. We don't even have to walk all the way to the back to see it. And we'll get to that in just a second. But first we'll have one more wanted poster story to show you so far. So here is the other wanted poster developing story. Out of the three characters, we do know that this guy is Digger, right here. And his name is Wyatt Digger Dempsey. And this is his wanted poster. We're now seeing his face a little better now as more gets revealed. As we approach, announcement date is actually going to be August 16th at high noon, and we will be here. We do intend to be live on Facebook, our Facebook page, so look us up, Wild Gravity Travels, for that. In addition to that, we'll be covering everything leading up to that as we are today, just covering the construction progress on the coaster. So again, this is Digger. The sign, we'll have a better picture of the sign in the written post, so be sure to click on over to that. The link to that, if you're watching this on YouTube, will be in the description section underneath this video. So coming up next, we're going to head on over back to the coaster site, the construction site of the coaster, and check out what's been going on. Stay tuned. So we're back here at the railroad crossing area, and as luck would seem to have it, the crane is currently holding a piece of track in place through the woodwork here. Going to be kind of hard to see until we zoom in, but they are actually actively bolting track into place right now again. So that's really exciting to see right there. There you can see a couple workers. And that track looks to be coming down this way. Looks like they're only working on one side rails. As well as that, we notice, in addition to that, we also notice rails are inside the structure all the way through. Let me zoom out and do a slower pan of that. So rails are inside the structure right here, and then we see even more rails right there. Now if you look closely right here, you can tell that rail isn't installed because there's the bolt holes and there's the supports. So those are the supports we've been showing you for weeks now. We're now finally seeing some installation of track going on inside this structure. So that's going to be really exciting to see how that truly develops. We've been wondering if it's a helix or where it's going. We sort of discovered where it was going last couple updates. And here you see another rail inside, and these are the supports that head back this way. Don't see any rails past that. But again, those are going to run another third set of rails parallel to the two we already have above here in this area of the ride layout. So it's going to be kind of hard to get a shot here, but we're going to come back over and take a look into there. We will try to get you some better still pictures again in the written post, written update. So as we continue to just watch here, we see them working on bolting that track into place, and we would expect them to continue on down the line. And I know, again, it's going to be kind of hard to see just because of the woodwork is kind of bright on the video, at least on my video screen at this time. So this is where we are on that structure and track installation. Meanwhile, we're going to walk over here and check out the lift. As we walk over, you'll notice here on the ground we've got even more rails in place. This obviously going to be for the other half of what they're installing today. And now you hear them banging some of the pegs and bolts into place before tightening them. So as we come over here, we're going to get a good look at the lift, which has climbed above the rest of the structure now and continues to climb. There you go there. We're going to get a better look even more from the station, from over near the train station area, but we won't be able to get a look at what they're doing here for the construction, purposes of construction. So here's another better look at the rails just sitting there. Those are waiting for installation. Those will be up next as they continue on around. And again, we do think this area of the track, you can kind of see some angled supports there. That is going to be for another inversion potentially, or at least a very banked turn. You can see the twist in the track now sitting just beneath it. It does look like it will be an inversion of some sort right in there. So over here by the Frontier Town Railroad Station, we can see the lift from a nicer angle, and you can really start to see the steepness of the lift hill now that it has progressed even taller since our last update, obviously. And it's again, it's above the rest of the structure over here. So here's our current leave-off point of the lift. As I showed you over there, it's going to be easier to see from that earlier angle. You can see the other supports, not quite yet to the height that they will need to be. These supports here are actually for that inversion. The supports for the rest of the lift are going to be more behind that. Going to be sort of hard to see them from this angle again, but we can see that they have put the railing on the one side. I took some video coming into the park as well, around the back once again, so we'll be featuring that coming up in just a moment. So stay tuned for that and our update from the campground. On our way into the park today, we get a good look at the lift hill and a crane in the air, which obviously we showed you. Here's a couple workers. They're working on the woodwork heading up to the lift steps. Beyond that, we don't see a whole lot on our way in. Get a little bit of a preview of the track down there in the structure, which we will see in the next clip as we are on our way out now. You can see that double up structure that we talked about in our last update, as well as we approach this large structure, we see the turns that go through it, a big sweeping, looks to be downhill if the direction of the ride is going that way, or uphill, highly banked going through the structure right under the lift there. And to conclude this clip, we see even more woodwork being done on the exit of the station area headed to the lift. As we've made our way to the campground now, Lighthouse Point as always, or almost always, we can see a good view of the lift here from this first angle we've stopped at. You can see there's where the track leaves off that we showed you earlier in the park, from inside the park. And then here's the supports. Now where this is squared off right here at that support, as I pull back out you'll be able to see it in perspective there. We expect that to be the start, and looks to be the start of the drop for the coaster. So we would expect this to continue to rise through about the center of the frame right here and then drop down right here. We've showed you several angles, even some pictures provided to us from Ace Northern Ohio during the Hard Hat tour of the drop. So we'll just continue to watch for the drop track to go into place. It shouldn't be long now. It looks like they're moving very quickly with track work and supports work, etc. So from over here we can't see a whole lot. This is the angle that we brought you before where they were installing track, either last time or the time before that in our update. The track, as you can see, has been completed, or as you can hopefully see, has been completed, going downwards there. Again, we're going to try to do a video on the way out of the park today. Hopefully we'll get some good shots of this tower and the track underneath, because I'm sure there is some to be seen. So now as we've come full circle, we're back here at the railroad station, and we've caught another piece of track getting put into place. So we're going to stay here and watch that for just a moment. And you can see that here. For those of you who have any questions on the project, we don't know a whole lot. We will know a lot more on August 16th when Cedar Point has a hootenanny to announce the ride. And of course we will be there. So you can see here they're lifting a piece of track into place. Looks like they've kind of just sort of wedged it into the support structure here. And they're getting ready to lift it up to those supports, I would imagine right there alongside. Now up high we have something a little different happening. It looks like an RMC marketing person of some sort is actually taking pictures and or video panning around the construction site. Oops, sorry about that. So they're up in the crane, she's up in the crane there, taking photos or video. Looks like she's could be about to come back down, and we're gonna come back down right now to see them lift this piece of track into place. Or at least closer to place. Obviously it's a little bit like playing Tetris, or a lot harder than parallel parking a car, obviously. So as we take one final look here at this area, we can see more track again that I showed earlier inside the structure waiting for installation. That'll probably be getting done within the coming days, I would imagine. And this is the old original entrance to Mean Streak, the old coaster here obviously. So that's going to wrap us up. My name is Jim from wildgravitytravels.com. For more, you can log on to wildgravitytravels.com and check out the full picture post. And we'll have everything from zoomed in shots of this track here to the lift area and beyond. Make sure to check us out on Facebook, Twitter, and of course subscribe to this YouTube. Thanks again for joining and have a great week ahead. We will see you at the point.